Communication for School Leaders, Week 5, School Websites and Their Use. School districts create a web presence by engaging the public through the creation of highly detailed websites. Understanding community. As noted before in previous lessons, understanding the community is critical. Identify leaders and those who influence leaders. Identify the types of organizations and social agencies in the community in which your school district resides. Understand the socioeconomic characteristics and priorities of the community, keeping current as things change. Once we know the sociological inventory of our communities, it's important to identify broad categories of interest to your community stakeholders that you will include on a school website. Certain things about the district, departments such as curriculum, technology, human resources, the business office, and others, as well as information about the Board of Education and student and parent resources are important pieces to include. Another important element with regard to inclusion on a good school website is that the State Department typically has requirements that all school districts must advertise to the public. Identifying those elements is key to the success of a school website and to your adherence to those state guidelines. Items such as Board of Education policy manuals that help the public to know what your school district's rules and regulations are that govern your district, the models of staff evaluation and the information that is pertinent to that evaluation model or those models, student achievement records such as school performance reports, state testing, and other local means are also to be included. Harassment, intimidation, and bullying information must be prominently posted on school websites, as well as Board of Education agendas and meetings. These are all critical to public notice requirements. So all in all, there is quite a lot to be considered. Another consideration for school websites is the actual design of the site itself. Websites really must be visually enticing, meaning that your stakeholders come to the site and are not put off by color schemes or sites that are too crowded with images or that are organized in a way that is difficult to access information. That being said, user friendliness is key to this. So, don't hide things on your school website. If there are elements that the public needs to know, those things should be easily accessible. Information must also be accurate. Very often, we find school websites that have older, outdated information, and it's important that that information is kept up to date. Also, the information that is included in a school website has to be informative and on important topics. And that can be anything from those state requirements that were noted earlier through current events that are happening in your schools, key projects, and celebratory things that the district is proud of. And also notices when there are things that the district must report that may not be points of pride, but that are important to the stakeholders. So when you look at the design and the inclusion of information in any school website, you want to keep all of these elements in mind. Because school websites are key to the communication toolkit of any school district, it's important that you have staff on hand who know how to make sure that that school website is kept in tip-top shape. So the first thing that a district may want to do is to consider hiring a professional web design company to lay out and include important key elements of the initial launch of any new website. Some districts have in-house talent and are able to do that on their own, but most districts would be well served by hiring someone or some company that can help them with that web design, at least in the initial stage. A school district must also ensure that staff are assigned to keep the site current. And that's not only the main district website, but the school websites that branch off of that district website. So having an individual in each school who can maintain the school websites is important. And then at the district level, making sure that you've got a layer of individuals who can keep departmental and other area pages of the site up to date with an overarching webmaster on site who can really keep things running. To that end, because there are so many people that should be involved, messaging must be consistent. Logos and other advertising elements, processes for the inclusion of information and permissions really should be managed by that webmaster through all of the other individuals assigned. And as I said earlier, the website should be considered one of your most vital tools in your marketing toolkit for any school district. In a previous slide presentation, we talked about the importance of opinion research. Here's where opinion research can really be put to some practical use. Information that's gained through that research can help to ensure that your district's website is in line with district goals and community needs. The key piece of this is to remind the public where the information came from in a variety of ways. Sometimes that can be done through newsletters that are e-blasted and then posted on your district website, or they can be put in as announcements in a community forum on the site, but many ways that they can inform, that information can inform the contents of the website so that the community truly feels heard and included in any decisions that are being made and information that is being disseminated. A sound practice for any school district interested in maintaining a vital district website is the evaluation of that site. Sometimes that evaluation may take the form of periodic tweaks that can be made based on situational issues that crop up during the course of a school year. These could be updated announcements or changes in dates on school calendars, but all of that needs to be made as immediately as possible based on the circumstance. In addition, a more thorough evaluation of your school website and its effectiveness should be made in downtime periods, such as summers, when the site may be used less and the focus on the pages of the site may not be as frequent. So having a checklist that can either be obtained from your web design company or one that you and your district colleagues create on your own will help you to maintain and really evaluate the effectiveness of your school website, your district website. The information that can be gained on number of hits, for example, of certain pages, comments and questions that have come from those from the public are also going to be helpful. An example of this might be you post your school and district calendar on your district homepage, and yet your office receives many phone calls asking where they can find the district calendar. So one of two things is happening. Either people are looking at the website and not finding the icon or links easily to that information, or they're not looking in places that are that house that information because their focus is elsewhere on the page. So sometimes linking other areas where intuitively parents are or community members are looking to the main area where that information is accessible might be advisable. The website can be a key element to marketing your school or district to your community and stakeholders. It's the perfect place for the vision, mission, and beliefs of your district to be prominently posted and communicated. It can also be the perfect place to inform your community about programs, including those of an educational nature, expectations for academic achievement, athletics, creativity, the arts, etc. It's also a great place to house information about outcomes, not only academic outcomes, but other things, as I said earlier, points of pride that your district wants to make sure the community is aware of. And also to keep current events in mind for upcoming attendance, and also to give the community an understanding of how those events ended up. What was the result? An example of this might be if you have a series, as my district does, of parent academies where we have workshops for parents that are on topics of interest that were discovered through parental forums and surveys, not only to give them the notice of information, but also after each event to post the presentations and handouts that are available so parents that did not attend the events can also feel as though they have access to the same kind of information. So again, the website as a marketing tool is pretty critical, and that's why special attention really should be paid to maintaining those sites and keeping them as up to date as possible so that there is a line of transparency between you, your district, and your community. Next steps. Read through the study resources and activities for information about this week's assignments. Don't forget to participate in this week's discussion. Remember to comment on the posts of at least 2 of your classmates' original posts.